What's up, everybody? It's Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak, and we got Dustin back on the show. What's up, Dustin?
What's up, man? As always, good to be on.
Yeah, good to have you on. This is the 2021 Atlanta Falcons season preview. The season right around the corner. The Hall of Fame game, the preseason right around the corner. Can't wait for all that. Starting to heat up. This is my favorite time of the year, Dustin, when training camps are opening up and we're starting to get that feeling when the season's right around the corner and all the hype that comes with it.
Absolutely, man. I mean, they're just saying that Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year. That's a lie. It is when football starts.
Absolutely. So let's look at the Falcons a little bit here. 2020, they went 4-12 and finished fourth place in the NFC South, last place in the division. They would fire their head coach Dan Quinn after starting 0-5, and they would fire their GM Thomas Dimitrov at the same time. Those are both long-time Falcons. The GM Dimitrov had been there since 2008, and the head coach Dan Quinn had been there since 2015. So it's a new era in Atlanta. The interim head coach Raheem Morris went 4-7 in Dan Quinn's spot. Did you have any thought or interest? Did you think that maybe Raheem Morris could take over as the Falcons head coach, or maybe 4-7 wasn't really good enough?
I mean, 4-7 wasn't good enough in the eyes of Atlanta. So you gotta. These days, they want winners.
Yep. Absolutely, and they hired a rookie GM, Terry Fontenot. First time Raheem Morris, he's been hired as the Rams DC, so he got another DC job.
Which is going to be good for the Rams, I think.
Yeah, I think he's a borderline head coach, and he's a great defensive coordinator, so I think he'll be good there, and he deserves a head coaching opportunity at some point. The Falcons hired rookie GM Terry Fontenot. He had been with the Saints since 2003 in their scouting department. And tell me what you think on this, Dustin. I'm not a big fan of hiring, like the Falcons and Saints are big-time rivals. Like those are, their biggest rival, really. And they go and hire a guy to be their GM that's been on the Saints team since 2003. If you're a Falcons fan, would you feel a little weird hiring a longtime Saint?
I mean, it's always weird and different when you hire somebody who's your rival, but if you can make it work, you can make it work. So, I mean, if he can come in and develop a winning culture, Falcons fans can't really complain, right?
Yeah. Do you think there's any chance, look at it like this, do you think there's any chance that the Saints, he could be like good friends? I mean, he's been with the Saints since 2003. He could be tight with the people with the Saints. Go take a job with the Falcons as GM and be there to hurt the Falcons. Be there to bring the Falcons down and end up going back to the Saints in a couple of years. I mean, do you think there's any? I know that's kind of conspiracy theory, but I would, as a Bears fan, I wouldn't like a long-term Packer in my organization. How would you feel about being a Colts fan, a long-time Titan coming to the Colts?
Yeah, I would not like that at all.
So we'll see. I hope it works out for the Falcons. Go ahead.
He did help develop Drew Brees, so I mean, this could be
talented.
A good thing for Matt Ryan.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think that's true that he's going to sabotage the Falcons, but it's something that fans, or at least I would think of. But we'll see how he does. Rookie GM. They bring in a whole entire new coaching staff for the Falcons in 2021. First-time head coach Arthur Smith, who was the Titans offensive coordinator. How do you feel about Arthur Smith? You've seen him a lot in your division. Do you think he will be a good head coach for Atlanta?
I think he's more of an offensive coordinator guy because I couldn't see him being a leader of a team, but you never know.
Yeah. Well, his job is to get the most out of Matt Ryan. And maybe, one last run with Matt Ryan, see if he can deliver the Falcons a Super Bowl, get
And
that elusive ring. Go ahead.
And honestly, he turned Ryan Tannehill around. So
he did. He is a good offensive coordinator. He's a good play caller. He got the most out of Derrick Henry, got the most out of Tannehill. Had the Titans in the AFC Championship game a couple years ago. So I like Arthur Smith, and I think he's got a shot to be successful in Atlanta. And we'll see. We'll see if he can be a head coach.
Sorry, I had to boo you saying that the Titans went to the AFC Championship game.
The Falcons' offensive coordinator will be Dave Ragone. He was the Bears quarterback coach. I'm not super high on him. Maybe he'll do okay, but we'll see. So I think Arthur Smith is going to probably be the play caller, is my expectations. Defensive coordinator Dean Pease, a longtime DC, been in the NFL for years, and was the Titans defensive coordinator in 2019. So reunite him with Arthur Smith. So Falcons bringing some Titans type football, and special teams coach Marquise Williams. So what do you think? Arthur Smith, he's known for a 2 tight end system on offense. So then they go and draft Kyle Pitts to go with Hayden Hurst, will be their 2 tight end system. I could see that being successful with Calvin Ridley, Matt Ryan. So we'll see. What do you think of Kyle Pitts' impact in Atlanta year 1?
Oh, man, I'm expecting this man to have outstanding numbers and possibly be rookie of the year. He's very, very talented. And having Matt Ryan throw to you, I think there really couldn't be any other better veteran quarterback to throw to you right now in the league besides, maybe the bigger names. But I think Kyle Pitts is going to have an outstanding year.
Yeah, I think him and Matt Ryan will gel together really well, seamlessly and do really well. I agree with you. He's going to be in the Rookie of the Year conversation. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Kyle Pitts bring in 100 catches in his rookie year. He's going to be a go-to weapon, and he's going to be key for the Falcons.
Yeah, and I mean, the Atlanta offense, in my opinion, I think is going to be great. It's that defense that you have to worry about.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll get to some more of this. So looking at players they added safety Deron Harmon. They add running back Cordell Patterson from the Bears, so that's going to add some versatility to the offense. Cordell Patterson not only can play running back, can play wide receiver, he's just a weapon out there. And he can also return kicks and punts. So I'm sad to see Cordell Patterson leave the Bears, and that's a really good acquisition for Atlanta. What do you think of Cordell Patterson's fit with the Falcons?
Yeah, he's a Mr. Do Everything, so it's always great to have those guys on your roster.
Yeah, they'll definitely get him going. My concern, though, with Atlanta is the running game. And tell me what you think of that. I mean, right now, their number 1 running back on the depth chart is looking like Mike Davis. And in my opinion, he's not a number 1. We had him in Chicago, and he barely touched the ball. He wasn't used much. Rookie Dave Montgomery got more play. So what do you think? Mike Davis and Cordell Patterson seem to be the 2 running backs. I don't think Atlanta, that might hurt them being so pass heavy and not having a running game. Do you see that being an issue potentially?
Yeah, and I mean, but always keep an eye on the player who opted out for the remainder of the season in November 2020. Javian Hawkins, I think he has the elite speed to be a great NFL running back.
Okay. Yeah, let's keep an eye on him for sure. I don't know much about him, but he's got raw talent for sure. So we'll see if he has some impact. With Julio Jones is gone. Julio Jones now a member of the Titans. So that's a big loss for Atlanta in that trade. But Calvin Ridley now is going to step in as a wide receiver number 1. Along with Kyle Pitts, you think Calvin Ridley is going to be in for a monster year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, was
Go
in
ahead.
my opinion, in the last 3 or 4 years, I don't even think Julio Jones played enough games healthy to even make an impact anyway.
Yeah, he was getting hurt. He wasn't as reliable his last couple years, and it pretty much was the Calvin Ridley show there in Atlanta. So losing Julio Jones is a loss, but when you replace him with someone like Kyle Pitts, I don't see much of a drop off here in Atlanta. So they lost Julio Jones. They also lost center Alex Mack. That could be a big loss for Matt Ryan, an All-Pro center. Alex Mack, one of the best. So losing him, that could hurt them a little bit. And they lost both safeties, Ricardo Allen and Keanu Neal. They lost Todd Gurley, Todd Gurley is still a free agent. What do you think of Todd Gurley? Someone's got to pick him up here eventually, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he still has talent, so somebody has to pick him up. I mean,
I'm kind of surprised Atlanta didn't keep him. I thought that he had his moments in Atlanta, and he could have still brought some there. I mean, he's better than Mike Davis and Cordell Patterson. Wouldn't you agree?
absolutely.
Yeah. So
I also like their third round pick, Jalen Mayfield, the tackle.
yeah, yep, Jalen Mayfield, third round pick. That's definitely going to help. They've got Caleb McGarry and Jake Matthews at the tackle, but they can put Jalen Mayfield in at guard if they need to or whatever. I mean, maybe he's an upgrade there, but he's got high upside out of Michigan. That's a good pick. We were talking about him in the first round, and for him to fall the third, that's good value.
Yeah, I think he's gonna develop into a great offensive lineman. Michigan usually has pretty good O linemen.
Yeah. They also, I mean, the Falcons lost some secondary. They lost corner Darquez Denard. They lost corner Bleedy Ray Wilson. But they did draft Avery Williams in the 5th round out of Boise State. He's got good upside. And keep an eye on wide receiver Frank Darby, 6th round pick out of Arizona State. But he's got some upside too. He was a solid playmaker at Arizona State.
Yeah, I remember watching a couple games. The guy had a game to him.
Yeah, he did. Big play potential. So looking at the key playmakers for Atlanta in 2021, of course, Matt Ryan needs to be at his best in order for it to go. Calvin Ridley is going to be, wide receiver number 1, but I get the feeling he's already been getting that, treatment. So I look for him to continue to put up big numbers. Kyle Pitts is going to be a huge addition to that offense. Hayden Hurst as well. That's a solid 1-2 combo. They're at tight end. Running back is a concern. Well, on the defensive side of the ball, they've got some issues, but they've got Grady Jarrett. They've got Dante Fowler Jr., Deion Jones. Deion Jones, one of my favorite linebackers in the NFL. He's a 100 tackle guy every year. And then corner number 1, AJ Terrell. Is he ready to be the number 1 guy? High draft pick out of Clemson. So AJ Terrell needs to bring it in 2021. You think he can and will?
Oh, yeah. So I have a question for you.
Okay.
If they struggled at running back throughout the first 3-4 games, do you think then maybe they try to reach back out to Todd Gurley and try to sign him to play the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I would reach out to him right now. I don't know what they're waiting on. I think running back's a clear need for an upgrade. Like they signed Mike Davis. Mike Davis isn't a running back number 1, and neither is Cordell Patterson. So if I'm Atlanta, I'm absolutely looking to get a running back still. And Todd Gurley, is Le'Veon Bell still a free agent, right? He's an option.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson. There's options out there. So Atlanta needs to, in my opinion, look at going and getting a running back. So that's a good point by you. Now, so what do you think? They went 4-12 last year. They should be better in 2021, right?
Yeah, I think that they'll be better.
Yeah, should be more wins, less in-house chaos, no firing a coach, no firing a GM mid-season. The defense should get better under Dean Pease. He's a solid defensive coach. And hopefully the new coaching staff helps eliminate those late game collapses that Atlanta's been known for, in the last couple of years of blowing big leads like they did to the Bears, to the Cowboys, stuff like that last year. I mean, you get rid of blowing leads like that, and easily they're a 6, 7, 8 win team, right?
Yeah, and I mean, maybe get in as a wild card because
maybe it's a tough division at the top, but with the Saints maybe coming back down to earth a little bit, there's room for improvement. So let's look at our expectations here. I'm gonna go ahead and go first here. I got them in the 6 to 9 win range column. Finishing third or fourth, potentially maybe as high as second in the NFC South. I don't see them winning the division because, of course, Tampa Bay's in there, but I see them getting better and improving and starting to go in the right direction. What do you think? How many wins do you see them doing?
Actually, Alex, we were in the same ballpark. I think they're going to go between 6-11 and 7-10 because there's 17 games this season. So,
yep, 6-11, 7-10. Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe 8-9, maybe 9-8 if everything goes their way. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, they need to be, expecting to be better than they were last year, and I think they will be. Last year was tough. But they're so. What would you do if you're Atlanta at the quarterback position? There was some talk about the Falcons taking a quarterback this year. In this past draft, the 2021 draft at number 4, they went Kyle Pitts. Do you think that's a smart decision? See what Matt Ryan's got, a couple years out of him here, and how quickly should the Falcons be looking at moving on from Matt Ryan? Because last year he still had quite a bit left in the tank, it looked like.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Matt Ryan performed pretty well, and he's always going to finish in the top 7 in passing yards, passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
And numbers. It's not his fault all the time that you have a 30-something or a 20-something point lead, and your defense collapses and gives up the ball game. You can't play both sides of the ball.
Yep. And that's why I think Dean Pease is a huge addition to this team to help fix this defense. If this defense can just get slightly better and stop blowing these leads, and because the offense is capable of putting up points. So if the defense can get slightly better, then this team's wins will increase as well. So yeah, I like our expectations between 6 and 9 wins. And, they'll be better. So Falcon fans, it's something to look forward to. And all eyes are going to be on Kyle Pitts. See how he does. We both think he's going to show out in 2021. And can't wait to see the fans back. And it should be a great year for the Falcons.
So do you think Matt Ryan throw over or under 30 touchdowns?
I think over. I mean, you got Calvin Ridley. You got Kyle Pitts. Who else they got? Frank Darby. Honestly, I like Frank Darby. Look for Frank Darby to be in the mix early on. I know he's a 6th-round pick, but I'm not sold on Christian Blake. I'm not sold on Russell Gage. I think that the guys to keep an eye on are Calvin Ridley, Frank Darby, of course Kyle Pitts, and Hayden Hurst. And if they can get a pass-catching running back in there, that could really help as well. Cordell Patterson, Mike Davis are just okay. If they can get Le'Veon Bell potentially, that would be huge, and that might bump them up another win or two. So, I'm interested to see what the Falcons do with the running back position. Other than that, I like what they're doing.
Yep, I agree.
So I appreciate you coming on, Dustin. Appreciate the support, fans. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let us know what you think. We're going to have weekly episodes going all season long. So stay tuned and have a great week, guys. Peace out.